Letting go, the first step to receiving my blessings. My child, I know the weight you carry. The burdens of this world can feel overwhelming. You've tried so hard to hold on to everything, your plans, your dreams, your worries. You've tried to control it all, but I'm here to tell you that letting go is the key to receiving my blessings. The very things you're holding on to might be the very things keeping you from the blessings I have prepared for you. You see, I want to bless you. I want to give you peace, joy, provision, and healing. But to receive what I have for you, you must first let go of what you've been holding on to. In Matthew 11:28, I say, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." I am offering you rest, my child. But rest only comes when you lay down your burdens at my feet. You don't have to carry everything alone. When you let go of control and trust in my plan, you make space for my blessings. You might wonder, why do I need to let go? Isn't holding on to my goals, my dreams, and my worries what keeps me going? My child, holding on tightly to everything only creates stress and anxiety. It builds walls between you and me, preventing the flow of my blessings. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or abandoning your responsibilities. It means trusting that I will take care of you. It means trusting that my plan is better than your own. Let me share a story. There was a man named John from New York who was struggling with a difficult relationship. He held on to anger, bitterness, and disappointment, thinking that if he just held on tighter to his emotions, he could somehow control the situation. But the more he held on, the more he felt spiritually distant and emotionally drained. One day, he heard a message about letting go, and it struck him deeply. He decided to release his anger and bitterness and forgive the person who had hurt him. Immediately, he felt a sense of peace that he hadn't felt in years. His heart was free, and suddenly, he was able to receive God's blessings in ways he never expected. In your life, it's the same. You may be holding on to past hurts, fears, doubts, or even your own plans and ambitions. But when you release them and place them in my hands, you open yourself up to my blessings. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about trusting me to do what only I can do. The principle of letting go, surrendering your will to mine. In Proverbs 3:5-6, I tell you, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Trust is the key, my child. Letting go is an act of trust. It's saying, Lord, I can't carry this anymore. I trust you to take care of it. I surrender my will to yours. And when you do that, I will direct your path. You no longer have to figure everything out on your own. You may feel like letting go means you'll lose control of your life. But I promise you, you are never out of control when you trust me. I am the Good Shepherd, and I know where to lead you. I know what you need, and when you let go and trust, I will lead you into a life full of blessings. Think about the story of Abraham in Genesis 22. I asked him to sacrifice his son Isaac, the son he loved so much. Abraham was willing to let go of the very thing he held most dear, trusting that I would provide. In the end, I provided a ram as a sacrifice and spared Isaac's life. Abraham's willingness to let go was the key to receiving my blessing. I not only spared his son, but I made him the father of many nations. When you let go, my child, you make space for my blessing to flow into your life in ways you can't even imagine. Letting go isn't always easy. It requires faith, trust, and sometimes it requires facing your deepest fears. But I assure you, my plans for you are always better than your own. When you surrender to me, you will receive my blessings in abundance, the abundance that comes when you let go. My child, I want you to hear this truth. When you let go, you make room for abundance. The world may tell you to hold tightly to everything, your money, your plans, your control. But I am telling you that letting go is the key to receiving more than you could ever imagine. You see, my blessings are not limited to what you can see or understand. I have a storehouse of blessings waiting for you, and when you release what you're holding on to, you allow me to pour out more than you can contain. Let go, and watch how I will bless you beyond your wildest dreams. In Luke 6:38 I say, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." When you let go of what you hold tightly to, whether it's your possessions, your fears, or your plans, I will give back to you, not just what you gave, but far more. When you release, you will receive. Let me explain this principle with a real-life example. Karen, a woman from California, was struggling financially. She worked hard, saved every penny, and kept a tight grip on her money, fearing that if she let go, she wouldn't have enough. One day, she felt convicted to tithe, even though it seemed impossible with her finances. She let go of her fears and decided to trust me. She gave, even when it didn't make sense. And within weeks, Karen received an unexpected financial blessing that not only covered her needs, but allowed her to help others as well. Her act of letting go opened the door for my abundant provision. I know that sometimes it can be hard to let go of your resources, your time, or your control. You might think, what if I don't have enough? But I want you to know that I am the God of abundance. I created the universe. I have more than enough for you. When you release what you have, I will bless you with what you need, and often, far more than you expect. Look at the widow's offering in Mark 12:41-44. She gave 2 small coins, the only money she had. To the world, it seemed like nothing, but to me, it was everything. I honored her faith and her willingness to give, and I blessed her in ways she could never have imagined. You see, it's not about the amount you give. It's about the condition of your heart. When you let go with a heart of faith, you unlock my blessings. Letting go also means releasing control over your life. You may think that holding tightly to your plans and your desires will bring security, but in reality, it brings worry and fear. When you let go and trust my plan, you will find peace. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." When you let go of your plans and trust mine, you step into a future filled with peace, purpose, and abundant blessings. Let me tell you the story of Ethan, a man from Texas who was frustrated with his career. He had worked tirelessly for years, trying to climb the corporate ladder, but no matter what he did, he couldn't seem to break through. One day, he felt prompted to stop focusing on his career and instead focus on serving others. He let go of his ambition for a season and devoted time to helping those in need. To his surprise, within a few months, he was offered a job that aligned with his heart's passion, and his career flourished in a way he never imagined. By letting go of his own plans, Ethan opened the door for God's greater plan. When you let go, you make room for God's perfect timing and his abundant provision. What you release will be replaced with something far better. When you surrender to my will, you will receive what is best for you. And that is the blessing I have for you. The blessings of letting go. Spiritual fulfillment through surrender. My child, I want you to hear this clearly today. When you surrender your life to me, you open the door to a deeper spiritual fulfillment, one that you can never achieve by holding on to your own plans. Letting go is not a loss. It's an invitation to experience the fullness of my blessings, both in this life and in the next. When you release control, you allow me to take over your life in ways you never thought possible. I am the giver of every good gift, and the more you surrender to me, the more you will experience the abundance I have in store for you. In Matthew 6:33, I tell you, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. When you let go of the things that weigh you down, you make space for my kingdom to fill your life. Your priorities change, your heart changes, and my blessings begin to flow freely into your life. You can't hold on to the world and expect to receive the fullness of my blessings. But when you let go, you make room for what truly matters. Think about the rich young ruler in Matthew 19:16-22. He came to me, asking what he must do to inherit eternal life. I told him to sell all his possessions and follow me, but he couldn't do it. He was too attached to his wealth. The very thing he was holding on to was preventing him from receiving the eternal blessings I had for him. My child, the blessings I offer are greater than anything the world can give you. But to receive them, you must be willing to let go of the things that hold you back. I know that it can be hard to let go, especially when you've worked so hard for the things you value, your career, your relationships, your dreams. But I am not asking you to give up your dreams. I am asking you to trust that I will give you the desires of your heart when you surrender them to me. When you let go of your control and trust me, I will bless you beyond what you can imagine. Let's look at the story of David, a man after my own heart who learned the value of surrender. David had every opportunity to take control when King Saul, in his jealousy, tried to kill him. David had the chance to take Saul's life, but instead, he chose to trust me and wait for my timing. In 1 Samuel 24:10-12, David said, "The Lord forbid that I should lay a hand on the Lord's anointed." David let go of his desire for revenge and trusted that I would work things out in his time. In the end, I made David king and established his kingdom forever. When you surrender your will to me, I will bless you in ways that exceed your expectations. Trusting me and surrendering your will is not easy, my child, but it is the key to spiritual fulfillment. Letting go allows you to experience true peace, knowing that I am in control. When you trust my plan, you stop striving and start resting in my provision. Let me share a story about Lena, a woman from Florida who had been struggling with anxiety and control. She had always been a planner, always thinking about the future and trying to control every aspect of her life. But despite her efforts, she never felt at peace. One day, Lena heard my word about surrender, and she decided to let go of her fears and trust me. She gave her worries to me and allowed my peace to fill her heart. Over time, Lena began to experience a deep sense of peace and contentment that she had never known before. Her life became more fulfilling because she let go and allowed me to take control. The moment you let go of control, you make room for my peace. You no longer have to live in constant fear, worry, or stress. You can rest in the assurance that I am in control of your life, and I will provide for all your needs. Philippians 4:6-7 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, By prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. When you surrender your worries to me, I will replace them with my peace. The spiritual blessings of letting go, living in God's abundance. When you let go, you open the door to living in my abundance. My abundance is not just about material wealth. It's about peace, joy, purpose, and spiritual fulfillment. When you surrender to me, you stop chasing after what the world offers and start receiving the fullness of what I have in store for you. Romans 8:32 reminds us, "He who did not spare his own son but gave him up for us all, how will he not also, along with him, graciously give us all things? I gave you my son for your salvation, and I will give you everything you need." When you let go and trust me, you unlock the fullness of my blessings, not just in this life, but for eternity. Look at the story of Ruth, a woman who let go of her past and embraced a new life. She surrendered her comfort and security when she chose to follow her mother-in-law Naomi back to Bethlehem, leaving behind everything she knew. In her surrender, Ruth found a new life and a new purpose. She eventually married Boaz, and through their union, she became part of the lineage of Jesus. Her willingness to let go and trust in me brought her blessings beyond what she could have imagined. I want you to know today, my child, that your life is full of blessings waiting to be unlocked. When you let go and trust me fully, you will experience the fullness of my peace, my joy, and my provision. You will receive the abundant life that I have promised you. So, my beloved child, I ask you today, what do you need to let go of? Is it your control, your fears, your plans, or your doubts? Let go and make room for my blessings. When you surrender to me, you will experience a peace that surpasses all understanding and blessings beyond your imagination. I am here, ready to bless you. But first, you must let go. Trust my plan, surrender your worries, and allow me to pour out my blessings on you. Your life of spiritual fulfillment and abundant blessings starts with surrendering to me. If this message has touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to God's sacred voice for more messages of hope, healing, and spiritual growth. Letting go is the key to receiving my blessings. Trust me with your life, and watch how I will transform it.